My name is Melinda Serrano. I'm a registered nurse and since 1985. I was super excited uh, to start working. They gave me my list, and I wanted to go around before I started doing my duties and say hello to the patients, just to let, I'm your nurse for the day. When I got to one of the rooms, I was saying hello, but my patient didn't answer. So, as I got closer, he was not moving. He had passed. He was already cold. It's a young man. He must have been early 30s. The picture of AIDS, emaciated. It wasn't reported this person was already cold, so he was laying there for quite some time. So I went to my charge nurse and let her know that the patient in this room had passed and it wasn't reported. And they go, oh, well, then you have to get him ready. It's one of the AIDS patients. A tech came and gave me instructions on how to prepare the body, and I wanted him to present for the family. He, his mouth was open, his eyes was open, and I didn't know how to close it. So they give you this little thing. It's like a little bowl to help close his mouth, and I held the eyes so they can stay closed and to make him presentable for the family. In that moment, I was angry at my colleagues because I thought nursing was something else, right? We care for everyone. I had a friend, family friend. He was in the hospital. This happened about a year or two later. We found out he was an injection drug user and he was in the hospital in New York. So we went to visit him, and everybody was staying apart, and I didn't understand why. But when I went into the room and I saw him, his color was ashen. He was very emaciated also, and I go, oh, he has AIDS. And he was talking very in a low voice, and because I already had my experience, right, you know from your experience. So, and I go, well, you guys at the door, come on in, right? He won't be able to hear you. So they go, well, he's so sweaty and stuff, right? And I go, and talking to someone, you're not going to catch it. Holding someone's hand, you're not going to catch it. This is your friend. And he knows it's his last moments. Let's share something pretty nice with him. I stood next to him and I got a chair to stand next to him and talk to him, so they saw my comfort, and so they can come near and talk to him too. So we spent some time with him, and but he passed. It was so sad. His funeral, they didn't have, family didn't have much money, and the service, it was just maybe 5 people. It wasn't, I don't even know if it was a wooden box, what kind of box it was, but it was just us at his funeral service. Nobody wanted to go. One of my patients asked me if I could meet him at his mom's and aunt's house in the valley. He wanted me to help them understand that it was okay for them to be around him. So happily, of course, I went and met him there, and they wanted to separate the dishes, the forks, the glass, and I go, how come you guys are doing that? All right, you guys don't have to do all of that. And you try to, I try to share with them what I knew of HIV and AIDS and how I take care of their son, and I'm fine, right? And I grab his hand to hold him. You see, I'm holding his hand. I can hug him, and I go, and I'm fine. I'm not scared, and you guys can do that too. Well, I was working at the HIV outpatient clinic across the street. There was a skilled nursing facility, and I got a call in the afternoon that my patient is in there. Right, so I let the staff know that the family sounded antsy. When I go across the way to his room, his mom is there, some other family members, and he's in the bed, and everybody's away from him. And I go, what's going on, right? And he just smiled at me. You can tell he was going through the process of passing away. And the mom goes, he's breathing funny and he feels cold. So I went up to look at him, and I touched his skin, and I caressed his face, telling him not to be scared, that his family's here. So I go to his mom. Why don't you come up here with me so you can talk to your son? She says no. And I go, you don't have to be afraid. I go, this is the process. This is what you're going to see. This is why his skin is cold. And this is why his breathing is going to change. But he can hear you now. And he might want to hear some, sweet words. She couldn't see herself going up to him and holding him. So I scooted him over and I sat in the bed with him. And I go, I'm here with you, but I want you to know. And I put my arms around him so his head was here, and I'm laying on the bed with him. And I go, I want you to know that your mom is here, your cousin, your brother, they're all around here, and they love you. They're just a little bit afraid. And I go, but don't be scared. And I'm touching his head so he can calm down. And I'm holding his hand, and I go, Mom, look, I'm here with your son. I'm holding him. I go, don't you want to come and hug him? Just tell him you love him. She couldn't do it. And he passed. I understood their fear. But I was so angry because he didn't get to hear that they loved him. In that job as a home health nurse, I actually got to see folks from every walk of life. Studio apartment, as poor you can be, in areas that you don't want to walk around at night. I got to see lawyers, judges, every walk of life and how they were dealing it. And one thing they shared in common was the secrecy of what they were going through. Nobody knew they had AIDS. And you became the person they shared with, right? Because you knew. Some were embarrassed because of loss of a bodily function. And I go, took care of enough kids, but no, I have to worry about all that. I feel I had to normalize it for them. Like it's nothing. You talk about, whatever's going on TV, the soaps, but whatever, anything that was normal, right? And you joke and stuff too. So it didn't feel like a damn burden all the time on you. When the meds started getting better, less side effects, patients started doing better. It changed, and it felt good to go to work because you knew people were getting better and people were living longer, and the face started changing, right? We didn't see KS lesions. The color was normal color. People weren't thin. Like, it really started changing, and people weren't coming alone to the clinic anymore. They would bring a friend, a family member. So I think as they felt better sharing with family. We stopped doing AIDS diagnosis, like, oh, we're not doing, 100 T cells anymore. People felt like they were normal, right? Um, they were having relationships, they were having dreams, they were going to school, they were seeing a future, they had goals they were setting. So it changed. When you tell an 18-year-old that they're positive, that's real hard. The first reaction is shock and tears. You feel like their life essence just ebbed away when you say that to them. You feel their angst, their fear. And you tell them, oh, no. Things have changed. We have all these treatment modalities. Tell me what your dream is. And I make them share their dream, what they see 10 years from now. What did you want to do? What do you want to do? Well, I was going to enroll in college. Well, go right ahead. There's no reason why not, right? What were you going to do in college? Paint me a picture. And I go, and taking this medication, doing this, doing that, you're going to achieve that dream. I go, you don't lose that. This does not change who you are, what you're going to do. Your life is your own, and your dreams are going to take you where you need to go.